there are genres and there are characters that I had not even thought of, that you haven't even seen in cinema yet, that are being explored now. So why limit yourself by putting a list and saying that this is my. There are things that I'd like to do, but there's no set list because these plans don't work. Hi, this is Kritika Kamra, and you're watching me on PeepingMoon.com. So, acting was not a plan. It wasn't a dream or anything. It was actually not, I would say, not a feasible dream. I mean, dreams are unrealistic, but it was really far fetched for somebody like me who comes from this really small town, a middle class family in a small town, no connection to this world, to this city. It was just something that you don't say even to yourself. You don't wake up and say, "Mujhe actor banna hai, mujhe heroine banna hai." It's nothing. You don't think like that. So it was far fetched, although I did enjoy cinema a lot. I used to love, but like all of us, like viewers actually, and it was just something on a screen, never a possibility or a world that I thought I could be a part of. So I stumbled upon it. I lucked out completely. I was spotted outside my college, and that's how I got my first TV show. So I came to this city with work in hand, which in itself is such a big privilege, and I'm so grateful for that. And when I reached here, I realized how many people come to Bombay to make this dream come true. And honestly, it was quite easy for me. So. Very very fortunate. It was only after I started shooting for the first show. I mean, I started when I went to a set for the first time and I saw filmmaking and I saw everything, lights, camera, just how the world is, of course, really fascinating for somebody who's an outsider. But just the craft that you need, it's so many moving pieces and everything has to fall into place for a story to come to life, and that I find magical. There is magic in movies, and that's what I fell in love with. And it was only after I started acting I realized that this is something that comes naturally to me. It took me some time uh, to fall in love with it, to have the confidence to say that this is something I want to do for life. Like, this is my calling. I'm a I'm a very practical, realistic, bordering on pessimistic kind of person. So I don't. So I want to be. I'm very cautious. So I want to be very sure about things. And only when I was really sure about, myself, I decided that this is something that I want to do for life. No, not at all. It wasn't planned, and nothing can prepare you for something like that. It's like I said. It's unless you feel it, you receive it. You don't know. How can you even imagine? I could not have. And it happened to me very early in my career. Kitni Mohabbat Hai, this show that I did, became really popular. It was a phenomenon in itself that I sometimes can't even fathom now, because the kind of love that I get for that character, that show, it just continues to grow. And of course, when you're working, you don't realize that. And luckily for me, because I did not grow up with a dream of becoming an actor, I was never attached to the idea of fame, or the idea of, like, this is not why I started acting. It's a byproduct, and who doesn't love it? Everybody wants to be loved, everybody wants to be known. I'm not going to be stupid and say that, I don't care about fame or money. Of course you do. And it changes your life a great deal, but it's still not my driving force. It's not. I don't wake up every morning and say I'm doing this to be famous. And so even then, it wasn't like that I that it hit me too hard. But it was quite it was surprising. And then I just eased into it. Also, for the longest time I didn't realize, because I say this to my friends sometimes, that my early 20s are a blur. I just worked non-stop and I had no idea. I had no life. I mean, we tried to have a lot of fun. We did, outside of the shooting hours and everything, because you're young, you just have too much energy, and you're new to this world, so you're so fascinated, and you're new in Bombay, there's so much to see. So did that, but it's only when you go outside of Bombay you realize the power of television. I mean, of course, in Bombay also, but in Bombay people are used to like meeting actors coming up to you, and or just shoots happening. It was only when I went back home the first time, and when I went to Delhi to meet my friends, because I had my school and college from Delhi and I had all my friends there. Then when I stepped out and when I met people, and when I would be, in a metro or on the roads or in public transport, I realized that things had changed. And then, of course, social media, Facebook was a big deal. Then Instagram didn't really, like, Instagram was not a thing. Facebook was it. And then there used to be these forums where people used to write about episodes. So the love, and people would send things to sets to my house, people would turn up. Just these kind of things, they were very, alien to somebody like me. But it was so warm and there's so much love that I think who wouldn't, get used to it. It was, and it was a conscious choice. There was always, and that's what I'm saying, it's a huge privilege. I don't take that for granted. There was always choice. I could choose between opportunities, between the work that I was getting, and I have been picky. I was very picky when I was doing television. I'm still very picky because, like I said, my drive, I think, is to keep getting better at what I do, to do diverse roles, and to be able to build a body of work that when I look back later in life, I'm proud of, and I feel like I've covered everything and I've done everything. I want to do everything. So that's the ambition. That's the dream. I mean, I hope that I'll slowly and steadily I can get to where I want to be. But that's what I want. So right from the beginning, and it was a challenge in television because it's not. I mean, we know how Indian TV is. It's not about good or bad. It's, of course, it works, and that's why it is the way it is. But I just feel that on the medium, a lot of the mainstream stuff is stuff that doesn't speak to me, and which is also why I stopped doing television. So I tried to pick. It was always the alternate that attracted me. The alternate on television, I mean, which was always like I used to, like I waited and I actually sought. Progressive stories, women characters that were more relatable, girls who had an identity, who were more than just an ideal wife or an ideal daughter. There's nothing wrong with that, of course, and that's what makes your character lovable also. But I wanted, it's fun, and characters only feel real when they have different shades. A story only feels relatable when it's authentic, and it's not just being done for drama. The kitchen politics kind of drama never attracted me. A lot of other mainstream stuff, and television is generally plagued by trends. So one thing works and then you will see 50 shows like that. So it was very difficult to find something that is different, something that is progressive, something that, apart from being just entertaining, also says something, or makes you think, or makes you desire a kind of life. And that's what I tried to find, and honestly I did. I think I'm very proud of the television work that I've done. They were shows that were never, they were popular, but they were popular amongst the youth. They were popular on the internet. They were never your top TRP shows. They were not, because that's just not the kind of content that works on TV, unfortunately. But they were shows that tried to make a difference, and I'm very proud of those shows. It's gotten better now, because of streaming. It's opened so many doors. The quality of work is better, the quality of writing is better, the kind of effort that goes into, I mean, even currently the things that I'm shooting for, or the things that I've shot for. I finished shooting for a project in Jan this year, which will come out maybe next year now. That's the kind of attention to detail, the kind of post-production work that is being done on a show. So I craved this. I craved this kind of immersive, detailed, creative work that is finally happening and is coming my way. So it's not so difficult now. Yes, Yes, I did. And I've spoken about this before. I did for a long time, and it happens sometimes even now. Now it's become, actually I've done so much work on web now that that mold has broken for me. But this industry finds new molds to put you in. So that struggle is just ongoing, you know. If you're particular about the kind of work that you want to do, it's always going to be a challenge, and I sign up for it. That's my choice. So it's uh, this transition, I would say, is, yeah, it was difficult because of the prejudice, but I also understand where this prejudice comes from, because I myself am dissatisfied with the content that's being made for television. So I understand how it's perceived by certain makers and their reservations. Having said that, I think the best way, which is happening now, is if the casting is streamlined, if it's merit based, if it's based on your audition. So I insist on auditioning, and everything that I've got, literally everything from the first TV show. Of course, then after that on television, I reached a point where I did not audition, or you know, there were actually, I would just, producers would call me or a channel would call me, and it was like I'd gotten to a comfort zone. But when I left television, I had to start from scratch. So I had to, what I would have done maybe to get my first TV show, I did that to get films and web series. Even my first web show was Tandav. I waited very long. It wasn't that I didn't get offers, or I purposely decided to wait because I wanted to, because I'd already faced this television prejudice. I wanted to break that. I wanted my first web show to be a sort of a clutter breaker. I wanted it to be on a premium platform with makers, who are credible, who are. I just needed to change that image for myself. You know, I wish it was as simple as just nailing an audition, which I try to do, and which I think is the reason that I get work. But apart from that, also there's so many of these little things that you have to take care of. It's just how this industry works, and your choices. I think what you say yes to is very important, but also what you say no to. That really shapes up your career and your image in general. And I'm conscious of that. I've always been conscious of that. Just coming to Bombay was surreal for me, honestly. I think it just started there. That was the biggest turn, you could say. Everything else has just been evolution, has been me trying to grow in this line of work, or, you know, me trying to be a better actor. And also because I didn't know I wanted to become an actor, so I never trained for it. I think if I knew I wanted to be an actor, I think the only thing I'd do differently would be to train. And I mean, even people, when they ask me so many people, you know, who I meet, and they ask me ki hum kaise shuru kare, do you have any advice? I think there are more opportunities now, great teachers now also. I really recommend that people, you know, train themselves, and just read and practice. And of course, everything else you learn on the job. It's only practice makes you perfect, and you have to keep doing something over and over again, and you keep getting better at it. And I really wish I had done that. So I think I highly recommend that people take some training, do theatre, do any kind of acting workshop that they can do before coming here. I wish I had done that. So for me, that first turn that happened by chance, I don't know. I don't think it was not a risk, because it wasn't a conscious decision. It was a stroke of luck. But that was the game changer. Like I said, I mean, all of us actors, we're a breed that needs validation. We need to, and everybody, I think, needs to know that they're good at what they think their calling is. So that is very encouraging, really motivates me to do better. But I've never felt like this is not my cup of tea. I mean, of course, I've had some really low days, and days where I felt like, you know, am I ever going to get the kind of opportunities that I am looking for? Or sometimes, you know, I audition a lot. It's not like I get all of them. So when something does not convert, and usually I'm detached to the outcome, because you have to be. And you learn that with time. When you give many auditions, you just learn to, like, do your audition and detach and wait for the decision to happen before you really even get attached to it. But sometimes you get attached to a certain character or a script, or if you've spent too many days, too much time, maybe done like rounds of audition, and for some reason that film has not taken off, or that part did not come to you. It's heartbreaking. I won't deny. Like I've had those heartbreaking moments, but never have I felt that, let's just quit. I should just quit. I don't think you can. I actually don't think you can be an actor if you start thinking like that. Acting is like, it's, performing is an act of hope. And just to do this process, to put yourself out there, to face rejection, to come back again and do it, you can only do it if you believe that you're meant to do this. The day you feel that it's not for me, I don't think you can carry on. So you have to somehow keep that feeling alive. And I don't struggle with it. I believe it. I've stopped making these lists because the kind of things that are coming my way, and just the kind of things that I'm reading, these days, is so diverse. It's mind blowing. So I feel like there are genres and there are characters that I had not even thought of, that you haven't even seen in cinema yet, that are being explored now. So why limit yourself by putting a list and saying that this is my, I mean, there are people I would love to work with. There are things that I'd like to do, but there's no set list, because these plans don't work. Even so far, I think everything has gone. I mean, you just have to go with the flow. Yeah. I don't make these kind of plans, and also it's not in my hands. I don't know what I'll be offered. It's just that's why I jump at every opportunity of a different character, because I feel like I'll explore a different side of my personality, showcase that, and then maybe people can imagine me in more roles that are different from the real me. There's so many things that I would say. But I also feel like everybody's journey is unique, and you can't really, I don't know what that valuable advice would be. But like I said before, if you get the chance to train. Those days are gone. We don't live in the era of hero, heroine. You can just, dance and go to the gym and you'll be able to. That time is gone. Now, we really look for natural, sorry, I'll just say that again. Now we've really started what am I trying to say? Now the acting style, or just the style of cinema, has become super realistic, and yeah, to be able to play something authentically, you need to have experiences and you need to have the skill set. So I'd say live life and meet as many people as you can, because you never know what comes handy when. And whenever you get a chance, take a workshop, take a few classes, go travel, practice on your own, and then audition and audition and audition.